Bilderberg, 2015. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious in Austria. There's a Fox News story here that I could spend 10 hours on because I call this a Rosetta Stone article. And I talk about this maybe once a week, something I say is a Rosetta Stone. It's a decoder. You read this article, you understand everything, how they work, how they operate. Even Fox News reports, like, is it reasonable, is it not reasonable, that 11-year-old girls were taken to a lesbian/gay porn shop. Porno movies, sex toys, everything. And the school said it's okay because it's alternative. See, if they were teaching heterosexual sex to third graders, it'd be called pedophilia, and it is. But when you bring this whole gay thing in, it's all right. So we'll grab that news report and play it in the next segment. This is the sexualization of our children, and this is cults of basically pedophiles. From Dennis Hastert on down, that are coming after our children. And when heterosexuals do it, they get locked up. When homosexuals do it, they get called goddesses and worshipped. And this is what the takeover is. Star Tribune's also reporting, and we're not joking. I mean, full-on sex shop, folks. 11-year-old girls. Now, imagine in America. And by the way, I can't even say some of the stuff we know that WorldNet Daily reported on years ago. Stations would complain when I would read articles about what 10, 11, and 12-year-old boys and girls in Rhode Island and other states, or in one case, were taken to a college dorm and put in beds. And then taught stuff I didn't know about till I was in college. It's pedophilia. That's not my view. That's what it is to take. I mean, if you go up in a park and try to show a Hustler magazine to an 11-year-old girl, folks, you're going to go to jail for 10 years, and you should. But you take them and you show them a bunch of women naked together and a bunch of men naked together, then it's trendy. It's the same thing. These people need to be indicted. And it's just par for the course. I see this all the time. The Smitten Kitten. By the way, any of these stores have got everything in them. So to claim, oh, it's progressive, it's okay. Again, that's the political correctness is an excuse for people to do whatever they want, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, totally, and completely over the top. Over the top. You're an adult, do whatever you want, as long as you don't hurt somebody else. You keep your hands off kids. But I mean, it's gotten to the point where the gay and lesbian agenda, not of the average person that's gay or lesbian out there, I want to make that clear, but of the people driving it, is to take people's kids and sexualize them and have their way with them. I mean, girls 11 to 13 were taken on the field trip. I'm going to cover this more at the bottom of the next hour and get to Jakari's report as well, but it just shows how whacked out everything is. And it was a liberal, holistic school for K through 12 with emphasis on the democratic process, individualized instruction, academic freedom, self-motivation, cooperative learning, youth empowerment, and environmental stewardship, hardcore liberal. So you took them to a smut shop. God almighty. That just shows the unbelievable. I mean, I have an 11-year-old daughter. And I'm not a violent person, but if someone took my 11-year-old daughter to a porn shop, I don't care who it is, what color they were, if it was a school, an individual, anybody, I would call the police. But if I saw you, I would beat the living snot out of you. I mean, I couldn't help it. I would guaranteed start punching you in the eyes and the nose and stomping you. I mean, that's a normal response, too. I can't handle it anymore. I can't handle all you scum that think my kids belong to you. They don't. You got it? Get it through your head. Leave us alone. We're tired of it. Quit pushing us. Melissa Harris Perry on MSNBC saying our kids belong to you. No, they don't, you stinking witch. You criminal cartel member. Shut up, you stinking pile of crap. Excuse me. Man, this pisses me off. I hadn't seen that article, and they came in and gave it to me, and I went and read like 3 articles before I believed it. They're in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune discussing whether it's good or not. I mean, that's the thing. They're in the news like, well, it is progressive. Yeah, men having orgies together, it's okay. Women all together, it's okay because it's not heterosexual. What? I don't care what it is, you stinking pervs. Oh, I mean, it's just over the top. We know we're under attack. We know it. We're breaking the conditioning. By the way, if you just joined us, this Gaia, or Earth Worship, that's what that name basically means, Mother Earth School, is progressive and teaches environmentalism, just the standard liberal totalitarian tribe. The reason I say that they're going to spin it and say it's okay because it's about being progressive, because the store is a, quote, progressive sex toy store for everyone. So my point is it's being spun that it's okay because it's for everyone. And you watch, that's how it'll be defended. Because I've seen this over and over again. They go, we're going to have, the sex education on, Billy having 2 daddies or whoever having 2 mommies, when you shouldn't be teaching sex anything to young children. They're not even thinking about that. It's not the place of schools that are riddled with predators. And I've explained this over and over again. There's a predatory hierarchy that's taken over the Catholic Church, that's taken over Congress, that's made major inroads, maybe not taken over, a lot of major institutions. I think you could argue taken over the Catholic Church to a great extent. And I remember them 15 years ago when that was all breaking, going, it's a conspiracy theory about the Catholic Church. None of that's going on. There's no cover-ups. No, there are cover-ups. And it's kind of this thing where you commit crimes so big, even people who aren't involved in it cover it up to protect the institution. It's too big to fail. That's what Jakari Jackson's report's about coming up with these big charities that everybody knows are stealing and not giving money where they're supposed to, but they're just institutions. So the mainstream media, every time there's a disaster, says United Way and Red Cross, that's where you're supposed to give your money. So it's the same story over and over again. I'm not saying the school itself are a bunch of pedophiles. I'm saying it's part of this culture that is mainlining sex to kids and spinning it as if it's progressive to teach them about it. It's not the school's place. You're not their parents. Parents call on school's chief to resign for Smitten Kitten field trip. Let's go ahead and play a clip from the news. Here it is.
Wanted our children to grow up and remain children as long as possible.
But says he never imagined that would include a first-hand look at sex toys and risque material. After his 13 and 11-year-old daughters came home, they shared what they saw. Floyd immediately pulled them out of Gaia and says the school did not give him any notice about the field trip. In a letter posted to Gaia's website, the school board says it stands behind the field trip.
They're certainly not going back to that school.
Floyd says his daughters are still traumatized and is waiting for an apology.
See, he's just an extremist. I mean, it's no big deal to take little girls to a porn shop for a school field trip. I mean, come on. That'll take them to a field trip where they're doing surgeries, chopping arms and legs off for transabled folks. I mean, it is a Democrat school. It is trendy. It is liberal. Sound science. I mean, that's what this is all about. Bilderberg, 2015. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious in Austria. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here with a special announcement for all Infowars.com viewers and readers. Bilderberg 2015 is going to be one of the most important Bilderberg events that's ever been covered by the press. It is the Bilderberg Group that represents the global corporate fascist shadow government that is establishing a planetary regime right now. They're behind the EU in their own annals. They're behind the North American Union and now the Asian Union, known as the TPP. They don't want to be identified. They don't want press coverage. Until 10 years ago, the media wouldn't even admit they existed. But alternative media, the people's media, you, the viewers of this show and others, helped expose it. It's so exciting. And now there's a real debate about TPP. Now there is a real debate about these shadow groups and organizations. Now people are saying, what do you mean there's global treaties that are secret, that curtail the internet freedom and have global carbon taxes and erase national sovereignty and set laws for our Congress and parliaments? That's why they always denied corporate global government, because the minute it's exposed and the minute we begin to discuss it, it begins to implode. In fact, look at two articles that just came out in the BBC and Associated Press. There's hundreds of others where the UKIP party, that's basically a Ron Paul, Patriot, Alex Jones party in Europe and England with Lord Monckton and Nigel Farage, has forced the Tory party to say we're going to move to get out of the EU if they don't let the UK make its own laws. England never got to vote. The UK never got to vote to be part of the euro. They just called it a trade deal like the TPP, like NAFTA, like GATT. So these are very exciting developments. Bilderberg doesn't want to be covered. Normally, they only shut the hotel down a day before when they have it in different parts of the world. This time, it's shut down a whole week before. And Rob Dew, Paul Watson, Josh Owens, they're all going to be there Sunday through the Sunday afterwards, coming up from the 8th, that Monday, right through Bilderberg, covering it live on the ground for us. The police and military and others are shaking people down, grabbing their IDs. They're already harassing hikers and skiers. This is already going on because the Bilderberg Group is scared. Royalty, world leaders, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the heads of Google, Microsoft, the Defense Department, prime ministers, they're all going to be there with Henry Kissinger and others. And they just hoped we'd all go to sleep and not know what they were doing. We're going to be there exposing it and pointing out that this is exactly the very type of organization and group that is staying in the shadows so they can engineer things like the TPP. Are there other globalist organizations? Yes, but they're all chaired and run by the very same 150 Bilderberg Group members and their guests. And so we're focusing in on what the dinosaur corporate media hopes you won't look at, hopes you won't investigate, because sunshine will destroy these political vampires. So join us at Infowars.com/show, where the radio show and TV show weekdays is free streaming. Also, we're going to have the nightly news free, not just for subscribers, all next week for 7 days straight, because we'll also have reporting on Saturday. It starts the 8th, and it runs right through for 7 days. We'll see if they try to stop our reporters even getting into Austria. That's happened before in England. It's happened in Canada. Reporters have been shot at in places like Lisbon, Portugal. I mean, this is a big deal. This is Spectre. This is Hydra. These are the bad guys that are behind the derivatives, the central banks, the wars, the funding of ISIS. These crooks do not want you watching. So get the free link at Infowars.com/show that we'll put below us here on this video and story, and send it out to friends and family. Post it on Facebook. Send it out on Twitter. Sign off on your emails with it and be part of the info war, because you, the viewers, don't stand in front of us or beside us or behind us. You stand at the heart of the human awakening worldwide, whether you be black, white, old, young, from Germany, from China, from Mexico, from Canada, from the United States, from Austria, from South Africa, or from Libya. It doesn't matter. Humans want freedom. We want a level playing field, and we're exposing the global corporate robber baron kingpins. So hammer this info out, and hundreds of millions more worldwide will learn the truth about who really governs the planet. If we just look at the politicians and front men, they'll just replace them like deck chairs on the Titanic. We have to look at who is pulling the strings, who's orchestrating it, and who's controlling it. All right, well, that's it for this special emergency transmission. You are the modern Paul Revere's. Get this information out to everybody you know, and we are literally going to see the fall of Bilderberg, the fall of EU, the fall of this global tyranny, right as they try to launch it off the ground. Because this is the point where the tyranny emerges when the world government is announced. After all the denial, they're trying to bring down freedom, shut down web freedom right now. Now is the time to expose them. They're at their weakest right as they spread their wings. I'm Alex Jones signing off, and never forget, if you're watching this transmission, you are the resistance.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
You are watching the InfoWars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.
And worshipped. And this is what the takeover is. Star Tribune's also reporting it. We're not joking. I mean, full-on sex shop, folks. 11-year-old girls. Now, imagine in America. And by the way, I can't even say some of the stuff we know that WorldNet Daily reported on years ago. Stations would complain when I would read articles about what 10, 11, and 12-year-old boys and girls in Rhode Island and other states, or in one case, were taken to a college dorm and put in beds. An article. And I talk about this maybe once a week, something I say is a Rosetta Stone. It's a decoder. You read this article, you understand everything, how they work, how they operate. Even Fox News reports, like, is it reasonable, is it not reasonable, that 11-year-old girls were taken to a lesbian/gay porn shop. Porno movies, sex toys, everything. And the school said it's okay because it's alternative. See, if they were teaching heterosexual sex to third graders, it'd be called pedophilia, and it is. But when you bring this whole gay thing in, it's all right. So we'll grab that news report and play it in the next segment. This is the sexualization of our children, and this is cults of basically pedophiles. From Dennis Hastert on down, that are coming after our children. And when heterosexuals do it, they get locked up. When homosexuals do it, they get called goddesses and then taught stuff I didn't know about till I was in college. It's pedophilia. That's not my view. That's what it is to take. I mean, if you go up in a park and try to show a Hustler magazine to an 11-year-old girl, folks, you're going to go to jail for 10 years, and you should. But you take them and you show them a bunch of women naked together and a bunch of men naked together, then it's trendy. It's the same thing. These people need to be indicted. Bilderberg 2015. You will never find
a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious in Austria.
There's a Fox News story here that I could spend 10 hours on because I call this a Rosetta Stone.